Hey Craig in Hertford, North Carolina. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com in Durham, North Carolina. And with the help of my GoPro camera, I get to show a fellow Carolinian how I'm going to make glasses for you. Prescription with Transitions Gray and Crizal Alize for your new RayBan 5184 color 2012, which is the dark Havana and the 52 eye size. I'm going to take everything out of the original packaging. This is your RayBan case, your RayBan frame, your RayBan cleaning cloth, and of course your RayBan frame. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to prevent the temples from rubbing together while it ships from overseas. I'm going to take that over. So of course you're going to receive this in all the manufacturer's original packaging when I ship to you, and of course one of the lenses says RayBan on there. I'm going to pop these out, and I'm going to go ahead and take your frame and put it into the tracing element of my edger, find my stylus, and wake up the tracer. I'm going to hit that button, and this stylus is going to pop up, and it's going to trace the shape of your right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic RayBan frame, and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number on there, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will be reimbursed from this purchase. Okay, that is the shape of your lens magnified. Let me bring it down. That little green circle, that green shape, that is what the lens is going to be. I'm going to magnify that again. Now your pupillary distance is 32.5 in each eye, and that's actually what my computer is pre-programmed to, so I don't have to do anything there. This is going to be an easy one, the easiest one I do all day. So let's go ahead and take your lenses down here, and I'm going to get them prepped. You are a -375 sphere in each eye. -375, -375. I could mark these right and left as I usually do, but since you're the same in both eyes, I don't need to. But I'm going to take the first lens out of the original packaging, and this is your lens before I begin. It has a little laminate on the front to protect the lenses while they're being shipped, so nothing rubs against the front surface of the lens. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put the power drum at -375 on my dusty Marco 1 lensometer, and I'm going to find the optical center of your lens. Then I'm going to put a dot in the middle of your lens. Actually, there's a couple there, but I'm just going to darken the center because that's the only one I need now. I don't even have to mark this right or left. Even I can't mess this one up. So I'm going to take the other lens out of the sleeve. You can see it's being opened for the first time. Pull that out. Pull the little protective sleeve off the front. Put your lens in. Find the optical center, which is just like the crosshairs of a scope. I'm going to find the dead center of your lens, both vertically and horizontally, and I'm going to darken that one so you can see that at home too. So I'm going to come back down here, grab your lens packets, and I'm going to place your lens on the platform to cut it. Now this is a block, or as I like to call Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens. This is what's going to hold it in place inside the edger while it is cutting, so I need to apply a double-sided adhesive sticker. And 3M out of Minnesota, yeah, don't you know? You betcha. Alright, that's my bad accent. Stops there. No more bad accents the rest of the video. You promise? Yes, I promise. Okay, so I'm going to pull this little piece of paper off. No, I haven't had too much coffee. Why do you ask? But that's going to make that side sticky. The little silver button on the back is a magnet. That's what's going to hold it in place while it is cutting. So I'm going to line up that little dot. That is your optical center. That blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. If you measured vertically and horizontally, you would come up with the exact crosshairs of a scope. That would be there for the frame. Your eye is just inset from there. So I'm going to place that dot, as you can see, right there on the lens, and hit that button, and that arm's going to come down and place the block onto the lens. Now this has to be the right lens now. This is the one I can't play around anymore. It flips over, again 32.5 your pupillary distance for the left eye. I think I need more coffee if I can't say that. Oops, look at that. See, I hit the button before I put the magnet in there. Let me do this again. Let me wake it up. Hang on. Bring it back over. Bring the shape back up. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing and stop goofing off. So we're back on the right lens. Let me hit that button to block it at 32.5. Put your left lens back down. Put the button in there. Get everything centered. So you're going to have to find a more professional optician that's going to do this for you for free. Until then, you're stuck with me. Alright, now I hit the button. The block's going to be applied to your lens. It's hard to get good help in North Carolina, ain't it? Alright, but okay, so the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like, by the way, $40,000 French edger. I recommend everyone go out and buy one. It weighs 200 pounds. Put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut glasses at home. You won't need me anymore. You can do it more professionally than me. The actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your polycarbonate lens material. This wheel in the center is what's going to cut out the V-shaped pattern, so that your lens is going to go from having a flat edge to a V-shaped bevel, so it stays inside the bevel of the frame, and that's going to happen on that second wheel. So let's go ahead and take your right lens, put it into the chuck. Let me just make sure. Yep, that is inset to the right. And pull up the shape of the lens on the computer. And I do not want to polish the edges. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface. I do want to put a bevel, just a slight one, on the rear surface. Hit that green button, which means start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white calipers, and they're going to make sure this lens is large enough to fit into the frame, measuring the size of the lens, and actually does it twice, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel so the lens will fit best inside the frame. It could move the bevel forwards or backwards so that your lens fits in there the best with the least amount of edge thickness, and that's what those measurements come into play. Now in just a moment your lens is going to touch down onto the cutting wheel. If you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry. That's just there to collect the dust while it is cutting. Plastic and high index plastic cut wet, but polycarb cuts dry. As I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. The Essilor brand is called Airwear. These are the Transitions TR7. V11 is Roman numeral 7. GY stands for gray. So these are the Essilor polycarbonate Transition 7 gray lenses. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin from overexposure, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, which will never need to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours. Down at the coast here in North Carolina, where you at? In historic Hertford, right down there on the water. I'm in the Piedmont area of the state. It takes me about 2.5 hours to get to the beach, about 2.5 hours to get to the mountains. I am centrally located. I'm exactly halfway between Washington and Atlanta, and halfway between New York City and Miami, so I'm about as halfway as you can get. Now just trace it again, just to give it a third check to know exactly where to place the bevel onto the lens. So now it is getting the bevel. It's a knife-like edge, a very dull knife like me, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. Your lens is going to be so sharp it's going to be able to cut a wet piece of tissue if you soak the tissue in water overnight and then press down really hard on the tissue. You might cut it now. I'll do the transitions later, but you also have the Crizal Alize coating, anti-glare. It's 3 features in one. The first feature, it eliminates glare when driving at night, but also driving at night in the rain, but also from street lights, stop lights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. You can see as I rotate this lens without it, you can see the second feature, it's an anti-reflection lens. You can see how the reflection from the fluorescent lights show up on this lens in this hand, but not on yours. So it makes for much better eye contact. When someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, they see just your eyes. And more importantly, it seems to be the one reason why everyone gets it. If someone takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens. Or if you take a selfie, you'll only see your eyes in the picture. Now, the third feature that I like, the practical side, is it comes with the best scratch protection in the business. It takes the machine that applies that Crizal coating, costs well over $1 million. Takes, and I'm just wiping off any optical debris that might be there, optical sawdust. Takes well over 24 hours to apply. Costs well over $1 million, so they put the strongest scratch coatings they can to protect their investment. So to see if your lens fits, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, and using my thumbs I press down the nose. It snaps right in. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the left lens. But that anti-glare coating, as I said, they literally vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. That whole process can take well over 24 hours. So that's why Crizal brand puts the strongest scratch coating of any lens possible to protect their investment, so they don't have to redo it. And again, it's tracing the shape of the left lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so the lens fits best inside the frame and you have no edge thickness whatsoever. Of course, you have the dark Havana frame. This frame comes in the popular 2000, which is the shiny black, as well as about 1 million other colors. Okay, 6, but that's close to 1 million, I think. I just didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. Alright, so let's go down, and I'm going to verify the prescription, although with this one it's a piece of cake. I'm going to put it in just above that red dot, back in my Marco 101 lensometer. And surprise, surprise, I'm getting minus 375. So, the unit of measurement we use, 375 is a diopter, 3.75 diopters. A diopter is a unit of measurement in the optical world, starting at 0 and going up in quarter increments from there. So 0, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. So you need 15 steps of correction at 3.75. Again, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. But you are nearsighted. With your glasses off, you can see up near great, but you need 15 steps to correct for your farsightedness. So without your glasses on, everything is much larger in life than it really appears. When you put your glasses on, it will minify. That's why there's a minus sign. Your lenses minify. So if I hold your lenses over the words, you can see how it makes the letters smaller. Your lenses minify. How many times can I say that? How many times are you paying attention? Uno, dos, tres. Okay, so again, you're getting the RayBan 5184 in the color 2012, the dark Havana, and the 52 eye size. This frame sells for $180. The transitions upgrade is you get frame and lenses for $180. You happen to choose the transitions, which cost $50 more. You choose the Crizal Alize, which costs $40 more. So your total is $270. And of course, free shipping anywhere in the continental United States, and extra free shipping here in North Carolina. So you should get these in either 1 to 2 days. So you're actually getting the bevel placed on there. As you notice, water has just begun spraying. It does that for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical sawdust, also known as schwarf. I would say may the schwarf be with you, but it can't because it's all being washed away now. So this arm that's being moved into place, it has a little wheel on there, which looks like something you would find on a Dremel tool. That is applying what's known as the safety bevel. It's going to smooth out the rear surface of the lens. Now, if you did have edge thickness that protruded from the frame, it's just smoothing that out, so should it ever make contact with your face, it would not be rough or abrasive. Of course, your lenses are not thick enough to stick out of the frame, but I do get ones every day that are. And of course, you are getting the thinner, lighter weight lenses. They're also aspheric, so that means that the front curvature of the lens is much flatter than a lens. So when you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for prescription lenses. Then if you want to pay, you like that? Look at that. I love it when it comes all in one piece, just like out of the dryer, the lint trap from the dryer. But when you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses, and then if you want to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight polycarbonate lenses, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And then if you want to upgrade to the aspheric polycarb, which are a much flatter lens, a spherical lens, give you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. These are much flatter, being aspheric, so they're thinner and lighter, as well as aspheric, so it's a flatter curvature to give you the best quality cosmetic finish possible. So let's go ahead and measure the power of the left lens. Hey, what do you know? Minus 375. So your pupillary distance is 65. So I'm going to turn this card around, and when I place the PD stick against my right thumb, or your right lens against my left thumb, and then when we read on the left lens, we're getting 65 millimeters, so that is made perfectly. This is also the time in every video that I explain that when you get these in the mail, did I mention free shipping? But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could be too small or too large when you put them on. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you. But because of the 80%, that's why 99% of all the optical shops out there will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down, there is no wobble. I flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. They're not askew in any way, and there's the same amount of tension on each hinge. Now, this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them and turn them dark for the first time, so I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light in my little transitions box back here. Now, as you can see, it will take about 30 to 45 seconds for the lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, Craig, pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. They're going to continue to darken as you expose them to the sun for the first 2 weeks until they reach their final coloring. Now, they will stay that way and work great for years. The only time they will not work is if you're behind the windshield in a traditional car. Your windshield absorbs the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays so your upholstery doesn't rot and your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. That's why they won't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken, but you have to have a direct exposure to the sun. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning that when it's 85 degrees and below, they work better than we do when it's near 100. When it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, your glasses are miserable, everyone's miserable. No one likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So this is the first time they've been activated. Don't worry, they're going to keep darkening until they're going to get sunglass dark. Remember, Craig, we talked about this. Weren't you paying attention? So if anyone out there has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Craig in Hertford, North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses with Transitions Gray and Crizal Alize for your RayBan 5184 color 2000 in the 52 eye size. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.